Time to put the pimento cheese scones together. What I have here is a half of a stick of butter chopped up. I'm going to put in a tablespoon of baking powder. I have 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm going to put in some sea salt, 1 teaspoon, a 1/4 cup of mayonnaise, and another tablespoon goes on the top of them. Here we have 1 cup of coarsely grated cheddar cheese. Here is about 4 tablespoons, I'm going to remeasure it, of pimentos that I'm attempting to drain and blot. What is it called? It says pat it dry. I did try to pat it dry. Anyway, I'm going to get these together in a sec, and I'll show you then. In this bowl, I have the flour, the baking powder, and the fine sea salt, which I am whisking together. And then you put in the butter, which I like to do by hand, although it says a pastry blender or forks, but I like to use my hands to rub the butter in for some reason. I find it satisfying. And then we're going to add the cheese and the pimentos. So we'll be back. I can't do all that with the camera, but we'll show you. I'll show you. Here's my flour mixture with the butter rubbed in. So you can see there's like little bitty pieces in there. Just washed my hands, so I'm trying to keep them moderately clean. Then I'm going to add in this cup of cheese and my 1/4 cup of pimentos. And then I'll be mixing in the liquid, which is the mayonnaise and the heavy cream. Show you that. Here is my scone dough with the cheese and the, although you can't see them anymore, the pimentos are in there. And now I'm going to add, in here we have a cup of heavy cream and that 1/4 cup of mayonnaise mixed together. I'm going to stir this in here with a big fork, and then I'm going to knead it a little bit and form the scones. I'll show you that. Right, I'm going to attempt to show you how I stir this a little with the fork. It really does work well with a fork when you're doing something like this by hand. I really can't do it with one hand, but there we go, and I'll show you when I get it to the stage that it's mixed right. And then I'm pretty sure I'm going to do this, give it a little, knead it just a smidge, and then I'm going to roll it out. And I don't know if I'm going to cut it with a cutter or just cut it with a knife. It's so much less waste and quicker if you just cut them into squares. So we'll see. I'll tell you. Let me see how they look. Here's the scone dough, which I put out on my little marble counter, and I brought it together to some degree. I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going to knead it a little bit more. I don't think it needs any more liquid. Maybe a tiny bit. I'll show you when I get ready to cut them out. Okay, I think I've got this pretty well mixed together, kneaded, and pushed out to about a 3 1/4 size. I'm going to use my cutter right there. I've been using my bench scraper, kind of help me, straighten it up and move it around. I'll show you after I cut a few. I'm supposed to get 10. We'll see how that goes. Here are my cut out pimento cheese scones. And I can never throw anything away, so that little bitty ball in the middle is my tester. I'm going to have it. I actually made 12. It said 10, but they're pretty thick. So you're supposed to freeze them for 15 minutes, but I've got it quite a while before dinner, so I might just put them in the refrigerator. And right before you put them in the oven, you're going to brush them with the one remaining tablespoon of mayonnaise. So when it gets to be dinner time, I start to make my chicken. I will bake the scones. See you then.